Greetings, my fellow Shadow Cultist here, and welcome to a Minecraft tutorial video. Now, I know it's been a while since I've made a tutorial video, so I figured I'd at least make another one to add a little bit of variety, I guess, to the channel. Now, in this tutorial video, I'm going to be talking about cauldrons. The reason being is that, at least in my personal opinion, I just feel as though cauldrons are actually very overlooked in this game, and I feel as though players don't really use these things, even though I really feel like players should, because, at least in my opinion, I think these things are actually very useful in a lot of situations, and not that I actively watch, like, Minecraft YouTubers, but at least in, I don't know, maybe last few months or something, I just haven't seen these like really ever been used by the YouTubers or anyone really, and I just feel as though these things should be used a lot. Maybe not a lot, but at least considered to be used, because these things have been quite handy, I guess. I don't know. I didn't come up with the script for this. Uh, I know, I know people have probably already made a few tutorial videos on these things, but these things have gone through a lot of changes in the past, so they've added a lot more things to do with these things. And uh, I don't recall there being a video of what all a cauldron can do now. So, I mean, there probably is one, but why not? We'll shed some light on the cauldron because, like I said before, these things are actually pretty helpful. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial video. Uh, I hope you guys like the little spice of variety I'm giving to the channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's let's start. All right. So before we actually talk about what cauldrons can do, we'll first talk about how you can even get your hands on these things. Because what's the point of knowing what they do if you don't even know how to get one? But fret not, it's actually pretty simple to get your hands on these things. It's very easy. There's no long, complicated task. It's not end game. It's actually very simple. So let's get started. So first off, all you need to make these things is just iron. You just need iron ingots, which you can just get from mining iron ore, and iron ore is very plentiful down in the underground. You could easily get your hands on a ton of this crap. So all you need is 7 iron ingots, which you just, like I said, you get iron ore, smelt it down, you get iron ingots. And you just kind of make a U pattern. If you play on Bedrock, it'll just show you the crafting recipe, but if you play on Java or something else, it's just like this, and you can make yourself a cauldron. And now you have a cauldron. Alternatively, you can also even find cauldrons in the natural world, one of them being in a village. So if you ever find a village and you're looking for a cauldron, you're going to want to look for the tanning building where the leather worker is, and just hop on inside and you'll see 2 cauldrons. Depending on the village, you might find 1, but other villages will have 2, usually filled with water. And if you want to, just feel free to steal them. Not like the villagers can do anything. Even the Iron Golem won't give a shit. Just make sure you use a pickaxe, otherwise you won't get it. Any pickaxe will do, but just make sure you have a pickaxe. Another place where you can find the cauldrons are these little igloos. If you're ever wandering in any sort of snow biome, snow area, and you come across an igloo, you can always snatch up a cauldron from in here. All you need to do is enter the cauldron. I'm a fucking idiot. Enter the igloo. Don't worry, there's no impenetrable door to stop you. Just break the carpet, enter the basement. It's a little dark and scaly, but don't worry, nothing's gonna pop out and go boo. Just hop on down here and you will see a cauldron about halfway filled with water, 2/3, I think. And, well, obviously, it'll also do the whole, like, zombie villager kind of thing. But we don't get one. But yeah, you can always snatch up a cauldron from here as well. Another place where you can find cauldrons are the witches' huts. Witches' huts will spawn in the swamplands, So if you're ever wandering the swamps, chances are you'll probably come across a witch's hut. So then you can just hop inside and... Oops, fuck, I missed. God damn it. You can hop inside and you will find a cauldron. Chances are the cauldron will be filled with a random potion effect. Do be in mind, if you want to grab the potion effect, just get a grass bottle, and you will have the potion, which then you can just use the pickaxe to get the cauldron. We'll get more into the potion stuff with the cauldron later on. Also, I'm not 100% sure if the witch's huts spawn in the mangrove swamps. I don't think they do. I'll have to do more research on that. I don't know if they spawn in the mutated swamps either, but they do spawn in the regular swamplands, so chances are, if you're wandering in here, you will find a cauldron here. Another place where you can possibly find cauldrons would be inside a woodland mansion. It would depend on if the cauldron room would ever spawn in a woodland mansion. Though, honestly, by the time you would find a woodland mansion, you could probably already make as many cauldrons as you possibly desired, because, my god, these things are very rare. So, chances are you will not be getting your first cauldron from a woodland mansion. You'll probably already have one by then, or you probably will already have the means to be able to make a shitload of cauldrons by the time you ever find one of these. So, chances are, unless you got super lucky and spawn near one of these things, but even then, these things contain a lot of hostile mobs. Uh, so even then, it's most likely not where you're going to be when you find your first cauldron. But you can find one in here, so there's that. Alright, so now that you got your hands on a cauldron, what can they do? Well, the main gimmick of the cauldrons is that they can store liquids. But when it comes down to what they can truly do, it gets a little more complicated than that. They have a lot of different uses, and to start off, I will just show you kind of the basics of what they do, and we'll kind of go on from there. Starting with water. Water is probably the thing you will use with the cauldron the most, as it plays a vital role in pretty much everything you can do with the cauldron. So, yeah, you're going to use water with this thing a lot. Now, you might be asking, but Shadow, how do I even get the water in the cauldron? Well, step one, use your fucking brain. but, uh, you can pretty much just collect water from a water source, be it a source block or a waterlogged block. Just get a bucket and just scoop it up with the water, or take a glass bottle with a water source block and just fill it up. And then you can come over here. This one's full with it already, but you can take the water bottle and just sploosh it on in there, or take a water bucket and just dump it in there and it'll fill it all the way up. And let me just get these out of the way. You can also use splash water bottles and lingering water bottles. Though, let's be honest, why do you even have those? There's not really a lot of full use to have these anyways. But yeah, that's how you can fill those up. You can also fill up cauldrons using dripstone. If you have water blocks over a block that has the pointed dripstone pointing down under it, and then you put a cauldron under these will slowly fill up with water. If you hear a water splooshing sound, that means the cauldron has filled up a level. Do keep in mind that you do have to have a water source block above the dripstone. Even though dripstones will drip water on their own, it won't actually fill up the cauldron unless you put a water source block above that. Another way cauldrons can fill up is with, well, clouds. Simply, if you make it rain, the cauldrons will then start to fill up with water, as you can see. And these ones do fill up pretty fast with the rain as well. So if you don't really have access to a water source block, which the chances of that are actually kind of small, but in the such case, if you're not in a desert but you don't have access to a water source, this could be a good way to get yourself some water. And another way to fill up cauldrons is if you have a bunch of cauldrons on the ground like this and water kind of comes up above it. I'm going to reset these because these filled up with rain. But if you have a bunch of cauldrons laying down and water comes on top, and then we get rid of the water, all of these cauldrons will have been filled up with water. Pretty neat. Do keep in mind that any buckets with fish or the tadpoles will not work. You cannot use these to fill up cauldrons. Even though there is technically water in them, it just will not let you. Worst case scenario, it'll end up placing on the side, which then the fish will be released and the water will end up spilling everywhere. But no, you cannot use these. It has to be just a bucket of water, nothing else in it. Alrighty, so now that we have our water in our cauldrons, what can we do with it? Well, for starters, we can take our buckets and our empty glass bottles to collect the water out of the cauldrons. You'll probably end up only really using this as means of collecting the water if you, like I said earlier, if you don't have access to the water sources, then this is probably the only reason to use this. Otherwise, you'll probably just get your water from the water sources nearby. But another thing we can do is... Are you shitting me? But another thing we can do is we can color the water. How do we do that? Simple. Just take any dyes that you want. We'll just collect all of them for now. And all you need to do is just add the dye to the water. So we'll grab, we'll do lime green. So you want lime green water? Bam, now you got lime green water. Do you want, let's see, do you want yellow water? You want like piss water? There you go. Now you got your fresh yellow piss water. And you can even mix and match the colors. So let's see, red and blue make purple. So we'll add red, and we'll add a little bit of blue. And you can pretty much just keep doing it until you get your desired colors. Very neat. Now you might be asking, but what do I do with these colored waters? Very simple. You can use the colored waters to color your leather armor, whether it be just your regular armor or even your horse armor. You just take the leather armor and just mix it in with the water. And there you go. Now you have your desired colors on your leather armor. But wait, do you not like the color you have on? We'll just get a cauldron filled with regular non-colored water and mix it in the solution, or just dump it in, or whatever. And then bam, now your leather armor is back to its original ugly color. And for some reason, the water does not get stained with the previous color, because water. And while this isn't exactly a feature, my personal opinion, if you're ever doing any build and you want to make like a sink filled with soapy water, in my opinion, I will take light blue dye and add it to the water, just because it makes the water look a little bit more clean and soapy. But that's just my personal opinion. This isn't like an actual feature or anything. It's just, like I said, just my personal opinion. I feel like I just throw it out there. But yeah, that's what you can do with water and cauldrons. Moving on. Potions. Potions are next up on our list on things you can use with cauldrons. Now, I know you guys are probably going to be saying, but Shadow, you need to use water bottles to make potions, so technically the potions should fall under the water. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, so yeah, potions. This is gonna be too long, but potions are still probably the second most thing you'll use with the cauldrons. Like water potions. They're probably gonna be things you use the most. I can't fucking talk. How do we get the potions in the cauldrons? Well, all you need to do is take your potion. So we'll grab this potion of fire resistance and just hit the use button and just dump it right in the cauldron. And there you go. That's how you get your potion effect in the cauldron. Now, what can you do with potions in a cauldron? Well, for one, you can take your glass bottles and you can just click the use button to get your potions. This doesn't like really save anything because you need to fill it up and then exit out. You don't save any potion amount or nothing. But this is how you can gather the potion effect from the witch hut. So if you ever find a witch hut and you want to keep the potion effect, just bring a glass bottle with you and just scoop up the potion and take the cauldron. The other thing we can do, and probably the thing you'll use the most with the potion effects, is you can use them to make tipped arrows, which is very fucking useful, as tipped arrows can be pretty useful. I said that word twice. Fuck. Tipped arrows. Tipped arrows are really good for certain situations, whether it's combat, healing allies, escaping, anything like that. You can be creative. This is how you do it. Because the only other way to make tipped arrows is to craft them in a crafting table with lingering potions. With that, you need dragon's breath, and that's pretty much end game stuff. So this is how you get tipped arrows early game or mid game actually. So yeah, like I said, just dump your potion in the cauldron. So let's say you want poison arrows. Just grab regular arrows, hit the use button, boom. Now you got a whole thing of poison arrows. You want instant health 2 arrows. For your teammate other side of the battlefield low on health, you need to help him out quick. Boom, instant health arrows. You you realize that you can't fight the fucking warden because he's too strong. You need to escape. Boom, slowness arrows. Not that that's going to help too much because he has a ranged attack now, but I mean, yeah, that helps, I guess, maybe a little bit. Or maybe he's too strong. You need to weaken him a little bit. Just add your weakness potions. Boom, weakness arrows. This is really good. This is why I recommend you have cauldrons. Than that, and just they're really useful. Like I said, these things I feel like they get overlooked, and I'm just trying to shed some light on. I can't fucking talk. Shed some light on these bad boys, because trust me, these things are worth having. But like I said, keeping it short because there's not really much else to use with potions. Oh yeah, and real quickly, uh, things that don't work. Honey bottles. Even though these technically aren't potions and food items, I don't want someone to be like, I can't use the honey bottle potion. Yeah, you can't use it. You can't use it. So yeah, don't try to use this. It's not gonna work. But use the potions. Use the potions. Alrighty, moving on to the next one. Before we move on, actually, I just want to real quickly mention something I almost forgot. Be very careful with mixing your potions as well as just mixing anything in general. For example, if I fill this up with a potion of healing and then I use a potion of harming, it will make this sizzling sound and the cauldron will go completely empty. And even if I use a water bucket, it'll do the same thing. So yeah, just be very careful with mixing stuff with potions. Next up, we have fire and ice. More specifically, powdered snow and lava. Now, I'm going to put these both into just one category as these ones don't have nearly as much use as the potions in the water, but they still have some use to them, so I'll mention them as you might end up using these. So, first off, yeah, lava and powdered snow. How do you get it in the cauldrons? Well, these ones are very simple. With the lava, powdered snow, you can either use a bucket of lava and bucket of powdered snow, or for the lava, what you can do is you can set up the same sort of dripstone thing with the water, but instead of water, we use lava. And as you can see, it'll fill them up very slowly. I have no idea how this one filled up so fast. But if you do this way, you're probably going to want to make it very large, as at least it's supposed to take a while. Again, I don't know how this one filled up so fast, but I don't know. But that's how you get lava, the other way you get lava. And the other way to get powdered snow in the cauldrons is the same way as getting water in the cauldrons with rain, but instead of using rain, you just put the cauldrons in a place where it snows instead, and that way the cauldrons will instead slowly fill up with powdered snow. as you can see. Alright, so now that you have your powdered snow and your lava in the cauldrons, what can you do with it? Well, as of now, the only thing you can actually do with it is just take it back out of the buckets. You can't mix it with anything, you can't turn it into anything. So far, all you can do is just take it out of the buckets, but this alone can actually serve a good purpose as, uh, like I mentioned, these are pretty much just making non-renewable sources into renewable sources. So, which these are pretty good as lava is a really good lava source. Lava is a really good fuel source for furnaces, and powdered snow and lava as well. You could probably turn to make like some sort of automatic farms or traps or stuff like that. But other than that, there's no real other use for the lava and powdered snow. Also, do be aware that lava in a cauldron will set you on fire if you stand in it. So yeah, do be in mind. Also, another thing, cauldrons with water will not save you from fall damage, so don't try to use that as a clutch strategy, or I forget what the fucking thing was with the water buckets and shit. But yeah, that does not work. Don't do that. Alrighty, so now we're going to start getting into some of the other uses that cauldrons have. First being with villagers and villages. So, as I mentioned earlier, you can find cauldrons in the tanning houses, tanning stations, whatever the game calls them, in the villages. So if you find a tanning station at a village, most likely there's going to be a leather worker there because leather workers have cauldrons as their workstations. So as you see, right now we have a shepherd, even though there is no loom around, so basically he's unemployed. So if I put down this cauldron, he should very shortly change his job. Yep, he'll change his job into a leather worker, and he'll start doing his working tasks. So yeah, even though leather workers aren't really known to have super good trades, uh, they're still an option. If you really want a leather worker, this is how you get them. And the other use you can use cauldrons for is for redstone comparators. So, cauldrons will give their own comparison value based on how much they are filled up. So, for example, right now we have this redstone comparator. It's comparing the cauldron. And right now the cauldron is empty, so it gives off no redstone signal. But if I fill up a little bit, it will compare with a value of 1, so it'll turn on this redstone lamp. If I fill it up again, it'll give a value of 2, turn on that one. And if it's filled all the way up, it will light up 3 redstone dust, value of 3, which means it won't go any higher than that, but it will turn on this redstone lamp. So yeah, for the redstone geniuses out there, feel free to use this information however you feel like. Alrighty, now that should be just about it for cauldrons. Now, if I did miss anything, or if I got any of the information wrong, please just feel free to let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, yeah, I hope this video has taught you something new. Maybe it will influence you to maybe give these things a try if you haven't already. And yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I haven't made one of these kind of videos in a while, so I just wanted to add this sort of variety to it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, yada yada yada. You guys already know the business. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.